Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Chart. In today's episode, we got a special guest, the IVFG inventor.
IFVG.
IFVG. Is that really like a big?
IFVG.
Is that what you guys call it? Is it the
Yeah.
official term?
Yeah, you saying IVFG.
IF.
IFVG, yeah.
Fuck you for value gap setup.
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
that? Also, really good soccer players I found out last week in our soccer match. Ryan, aka Dodgy, how are you doing, brother? Thank you for being here.
Dude, I'm doing great, especially after winning last Tuesday. Felt good.
I didn't like. I knew you looked pretty good at soccer, but I was like surprised you actually like really solid. I was telling the producer and Emmanuel here before the episode. I was like, damn, I was surprised.
Yeah, I should have had like 5 goals.
You wasted a couple of chances. Dust off dust off the rust or whatever. IFVG.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Give us a little history about it. Why does it work? Why do you use it? Why is it one setup for life? Why is it the best
Just
strategy? Well, according to you.
I've never.
Emmanuel doesn't even know what
I trade very
regular.
differently. No, I don't even use fair value gaps, let alone, IFVGs. I trade very differently, but yeah, I'm just curious, like what it is, how it works.
So
kind
you
of
know
like
what a fair
rundown.
value gap is, right?
I personally don't use them in my
Wait,
trading.
do you know what it is?
I like know what it is just off like TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram, like people talking about it, but I like roughly.
Think of a big candle that goes up, forms a fair value gap. Like, what do you think's happening when you see that monster candle go up? Like, just generally speaking, what do you think smart money's doing?
So they're saying that the candle goes up.
Yeah, the giant candle up forms a fair value gap. What do you think was happening behind the scenes? Very
Giant candle goes up, they're buying.
Yeah, there's a ton of buyers, right? If you compare that to like a tiny candle that goes up, right? A big candle that goes up, like no retail trader in the market is actually making that candle, right? It's all smart money. So an inverse is just that getting like completely engulfed and going the other way with the same type of candle. And what happens is so many people like this all the guys who cause that big candle to go up are all the algorithms, buyers, whatever you believe. I truly believe it's algorithms. When that gets reversed, all of these guys are now stopping out and there's more shorts on the other side, right? Because how does smart money get in position? Well, they need sell and buy stops to be ran. So when you see that giant up candle hit like a high to the left, right? You get all these breakout traders buying because they think, oh, is it going to break out? And you just generate so much liquidity there that, okay, now when a candle like shoots back down, breaks that fair value gap again, it's just such a high probability reversal point, So that's kind of what it is. And like behind the scenes, it's really hard for us to shoot up, shoot down, and then shoot back up. You don't see that in the market a lot, especially after running a high. So it's just like a super high probability, like reversal kind of signature in price, if that makes sense.
I see. No, that definitely.
How
makes
did
sense.
you develop it? Because before you, like, I don't know, like, probably as a team invented it or like maybe you mentioned it, but like, I will say that you were probably the first person that like I heard talk about it, like very extensively at least.
I was
and
the
then
first
a
ever-
lot of people catching on.
Yeah, dude, everyone uses them on social media now.
I even seen Justin Werlin, which I'm friends with, Tactical Traders. He made a tweet yesterday, I think it was, and it was like, I don't know where he's like, IVFG is like the one setup you need to retire. Like, he added like a couple other things. I was like, wait, I never even seen this guy talk about it before.
Yeah,
and
I
he's a
know.
huge ICT guy.
I know.
So like, when did you like realize like something that was not very popular that like you're like, this is the shit right here.
Dude, it's me and I texted this guy named DC. He didn't have any social media. And me and him, like, we watched the ICT 2022 mentorship and we did the 2022 model. And I remember we were like texting one day and, we took like a long, how like there's a market structure break, we're tracing the fair value and we longed, whatever. And I remember we both got wrecked that day. And, I think it was, I don't know which one of us set up, but we're like, what if we try, going the other way if we get wrecked on like a retracement? So me and DC, and he doesn't have social media and he makes a lot of money. He's one of those guys who doesn't sell a course. He doesn't sell anything. He makes like, I think like 1,000, 2,000 a day. But, we just start trying to reverse the fair value gap instead. And we found out that it actually worked better. So instead of just doing the 2022 model, we both decided that, okay, we're just going to try this for the next couple months, see what happens. And we did it. We were profitable, whatever. And then, how like you kind of how in models you need like you start listing things like, oh, I need an SMT or I need an EMA bounce. You kind of have those things.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, when I say, oh, I just shorted a failed 2022 ICT model, that's not really a model. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to have like characteristics. So I started being like, okay, it needs to be a singular candle. It needs to sweep a high. It needs to, and I started creating like actual characteristics that started forming into a model. And the next like 3-4 months, I never really talked about it on any of my live streams. I kind of just did it myself. And I started and then slowly but surely, I was like, guys, I've been using these inverses for the last couple of months. I haven't been sharing them, but I started teaching my live stream slowly. I started posting about them on Twitter, and I kind of gatekept them for a couple months because I used to actually think if everyone used the same strategy, I used to be one of those guys who'd be like, oh, it's not going to work. I don't know why I believe that, but retail makes up less than 1% of the market. That's just obviously not true. But I used to believe that, so I kind of gatekept it, and slowly but surely, I started using it, and I started teaching on stream, and then I started showing other people on Twitter, and it probably took about a year for it to catch on, but so many influencers are using them now. And there's influencers like, oh, I've been using IFGs forever. Dude, I've been using them for like 3 years, and there's influencers who don't even follow me who just see my posts who like they don't know it, but their brain sees my post and they catch on. Like I did a live stream with Justin Werline like I think a year or two ago. I don't know how long ago, and I remember his whole chat was like, crapping on me or shit. Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're just
I'd be disappointed if you don't
Okay.
swear.
They're
It's encouraged.
Yeah, so they were shitting on me for using IFGs. They're like, "Oh, what's this dude? He's going to break even. He's only going for 1R." And I like going for 1R because my win rate's very high. And Justin never used IFGs back then, and neither did a lot of people. And I'm not claiming to. I never taught them or anything, but how I made them relevant and how I post about them for a year straight. Everyone. It's not even Justin. Like so many other people just start using them now. Like 2 years later. But yeah, I kind of just made them popular. I posted them on Twitter for a while. I think my first YouTube video about an IFG was 2.5 years ago, and you never find anything on IFGs back then. ICT, he would mark them in his chart, and he'd be like, he just marked. He never taught how to use it. He literally just marked it in his chart in hindsight, and then I kind of saw that, and I never learned them from him. I just saw he marked it, and I just kind of created my own model like around it,
I would say all ICT traders are like can't think of one that doesn't use them honestly at this point. They're like at least I follow.
Dude, they're just so good, and if they're not, if you see a 2022 model but no IFG, well, it's just lower probability. So I teach people, I'm like, why not wait for both an IFG and a fair value gap? And some people call it a BPR. I just kind of whatever. The terms don't matter, but if both are going to add 20 to 30% to your win rate, then why not wait for those, So that's why everyone uses them now. And oftentimes there won't be a fair value gap to the downside, but there'll be an IFG. And people have gotten so good at reading the market and liquidity that they'll be like, okay, I don't need a fair value gap. All I see is an IFG, so I'm just going to take this. And that's why they're so popular, because they give so much more opportunity than if you have to wait for a fair value gap every time.
No, I mean I start marking on my chart, and whether I watched your stuff or I watched some other people that probably at some point watch your stuff, because you watch one guy and like, oh, this guy's talking about it, but like you don't know where he got it from. I do like him, especially like Emmanuel here. He trades regular stocks, so like I don't know like if those are relative to that.
They are, yeah.
Have you messed around with that, like Tesla, Nvidia, just random?
I took a really good Tesla long off a weekly IFG.
You trading options or like how are you trading that?
No, just long-term investing. Yeah, just shares. So like I'll look at long-term stuff. Like I know there's a really good weekly setup right now on UPS. There's like a weekly.
The most random stock ever.
Yeah, but I'm ready to buy long-term if that shoots up, like if it breaks it. So I mean, it works on everything. I've seen it work on crypto. I called a really nice crypto trade at like 74K. And I actually posted on TikTok and I go, guys, if this fair value gap breaks, we're going to 100K.
It was a daily fair value, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a daily fair gap. It broke, and I remember the whole next week. That's when he rallied to 100K. You know how Bitcoin was like chopping for a while?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was chopping. And then I posted on TikTok, I'm like, yo, I know we've been chopping for a while, but if this breaks, we are going to pump. And that later week, we went to 100K. And, people in my comments like, oh, how do you know that? And I'm like, dude, it's just a daily fair value gap. All these smart money orders are getting reversed, and that causes shorts to cover. It just booms the candle, So
No, it makes sense too on the backside of it. But how'd you get started into trading in general? Because you're pretty like young. You're like 21, 22.
I'm 22. Yeah, I was at my dad's house one day, and I'm like, fucking 9 to 5, and the first thing I type in on YouTube is how to make money online.
Your dad was a day trader, or
No. I
you
was at
just-
my dad's house. I was just sitting on his couch. He was like doing work, and
you're just like you were watching him in his 9 to 5. You're like, fuck this.
yeah,
How old were you at the time?
I was like 16, I think. It was like 8 p.m. I remember the time. It was like 8 p.m. and I had my iPad and I was on the couch, and I just typed in how to make money online. And you know the Trey guy from the AMC pump? I think his name was Trey.
I don't know.
Trey
I know Roaring Kitty, the dude.
There was him, and then there's this other guy named Trey. He was a big AMC streamer. I remember he was one of the first guys that came up, and that was when the whole AMC and GME thing were happening. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like trading that shit. That
Yeah.
was like that was probably like the most fun trading wise. Like, if
Dude,
you're
that's
trading
when I
regular
got
stuff.
hooked, and I'm like, and then 2
A
weeks
lot of people
later,
got hooked during that time.
I'm like, oh, you can't. This is not sustainable.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I actually need a strategy. I can't just buy AMC and GME.
So you started with like options, like right, like kind of
Yeah,
like
I
everybody
started
else.
with penny stocks actually,
Mhm.
and I was profitable in penny stocks, believe it or not. And then I actually became like I was profitable from the start because I just do like basic support and resistance, whatever. And then I became unprofitable in options because I didn't know how to. I guess I still would probably be unprofitable in options. Maybe not anymore. But I don't know. I just couldn't pick the contracts. So I was bad at picking contracts. I used to try to go way out of the money.
The target catch is like 2,000%, like
Yeah, I
$1
don't
to
know-
$200.
I don't know why I
gainer.
did that. I don't know why I did that.
I think you know why. Like I think a big thing is that you see Twitter and everybody on Twitter is always catching like 2,000%.
Yeah, but it's a
gainers.
one contract. It's a
Yeah,
runner.
they'll like put like $10 and they'll just flex the percent, and
Yeah.
people think like every contract for options should be
Yeah.
like this insane gainer, which
Yeah.
99% of times it's not. Now there's
I
your
did.
occasional like huge news you catch, which is it always involves a bit of luck. I feel like, but no.
Sure.
And when did you turn like? When did you find like turn profitable? Was it like after that IBFGs, or was it like you were kind of like doing
No,
well?
I was profitable before IFGs a little bit. I had some emotional problems, and when I used to enter trades, when I used to enter in a normal fair value gap, price would dance. It would come in the fair value, and price would start dancing around in the fair value gap. It wouldn't stop me out, but it'd just go, choppy in the fair value. And I used to get emotional. I used to keep buying and selling, and that's one of the reasons I switched to IFGs because it works much quicker. But yeah, that was basically. I was profitable before that, and I was like, I tried breaker blocks. I tried everything, and I found the IFGs for me were more profitable. So
Did you learn mainly just like YouTube, or did you have like a mentor of any kind?
it was all it was just I learned off ICT. You hate him or love him. He's a bipolar, and I don't care. Like, yeah, he didn't win the Robins, and he said he would, but I don't listen to any of that. His concepts work, and that's all I care about. It's whatever. But he that was a letdown. He said he's gonna win the Robins, and but I don't care because it's not me. So.
Would you consider joining Robbins next year? IBFG
Dude,
to the top.
I was considering it, but
It's people don't realize
I
that
haven't
Robbins
even
is
heard
like
it. Horrible.
It's horrible. Like it
It's-
literally feels like a scam to Robbins. Like how to do
What
the
even is
tournament.
it? It's just a I've never heard
It's
of it.
it's an
Yeah.
actual like futures like
competition.
yeah, but the actual company that does it, I think they're like a brokerage, but like a failing brokerage.
Yeah,
Like the Robbins
yeah.
is like the only somewhat relative thing they have, thanks to
Yeah.
ICT more than anybody.
Yeah. ICT brought that. Yeah, he popularized that shit. So for anyone who, from what I research is, I signed up for Robbins. I put my phone number. The second you even sign up or you're gonna say you're gonna put your information, they start calling you.
Yeah, bro.
I got a
did
call
that
right
too.
away.
I was like, fuck
You have to
this.
pay to go into it, or is
You
it?
have to open up $10,000 or more account, and basically commissions are super high.
Yep.
I know somebody did it. The fills are terrible.
The scaling is awful.
And if you're scalping, it's horrible for scalpers. A lot of the guys you see in the leaderboard, they're swinging weeks and weeks and weeks, which makes sense. And from what I've researched, most of the people in the leaderboard are from, I'm not gonna say third world countries.
Hey, there's all Italians in there, so you know.
There
what's your
was.
laugh?
Some of those guys
All
like
Italians.
I would research they do it to put their name out there, and apparently they have a copy trading system. So what they're doing is they're trying to put themselves on the leaderboard, and then they charge for people to copy trade them after the Robins is over. From what I've researched,
So like sell like a signal, like kinda like a signals group.
because
vibe.
that's your own. Because they're not big on social media, so how do you get your name out there? You do well in the Robins, and people see your name, and then they'll type in your name, and then they'll. they have this like
I
copy
actually,
trading
you know
service.
what's really funny about it? So in the forex side of things,
Yeah.
there's a name, Gianluigi. He's actually from the same town I'm from in Naples, Italy. We actually follow each other on Instagram. We like talk all the time. He's got like half a million
awesome.
followers, and he won the forex side of things. He won like 3 different like I don't know. The forex is like 3 different levels of it, and he won all 3 of them. And I was like, oh shit! Like it's just funny because like
Yeah.
I don't know why there's a lot of Italians on the Robbins Cup and they all do really well. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Does he swing trade?
How long?
I honestly like he trades forex.
year.
Yeah,
It's 1 year.
Yeah.
That's
they,
crazy.
They have
I thought it was, like,
quarterly
a few
ones,
weeks.
though. They have
They
quarterly
do
ones.
quarterly ones.
But
yeah.
like those are kind of whack.
Yeah.
I think it's like $2,500. Like
That's
it's
insane.
yeah.
A year.
I don't like he trades forex. So honestly, I don't even ask. Like I just don't even care for forex.
If I had to guess, he probably swing trades.
Like I feel like forex, you just don't even scalp for
Yeah,
the most part. Like
no,
it's
no,
because it's
no.
much lower than like futures or options, penny stocks,
Yep.
all those shit. I saw TGR is doing his own. He like
Huh.
he's doing his own competition he wants to do. Like
Oh,
his own
really?
like
Yeah,
I don't think it's like a Robbins thing, but like it'll be something around those lines. We'll see. Maybe there'll
Yeah.
be a new cup that people will aim for.
The reason I'm trying to stay away from it is because I'm trying to be an educational service. I don't want to. When you start getting in competition, that's where ego gets involved, and I don't care for ego, dude. I just want to make money.
And people that see you on there, they're just like, let me copy your trades. Like, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
And it's like the hardest part I think we have is people that want to push education. It's like, unfortunately, most people that get like buy your stuff still just want to copy you. Like they're like, you can say this is education, like don't copy me, like just try to learn.
Dude,
And like 70% are like, no, I'm still just copying you.
I've banned people joining my paid service because I can tell they just joined the copy me. I don't like that. I hate that. Because I'm like, dude, what if I'm not here tomorrow? What are you going to do? How are you going to feed your family? So I banned them. So I don't know. Or I'll refund. I'll refund them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I noticed like even me when like after I take my first trade of the day, like I'll just say like let's say there's like 300 people on stream, like and then I close my first trade. Now there's like 150, and I'm like, wait, why did they all leave? Because they just were there for that trade and they left.
Exactly. That happened to me yesterday. I had like 600 something people on my stream. I take a banger, and honestly, some of them do leave because they only do one trade a day. But others leave because they're like, okay, copy the winning signal. I'm out. They don't even care about the rest of the education. But some of them, like, I try to teach discipline. A lot of people, like, they watch my YouTube videos, whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm going to learn the best strategy ever. And you do. But I really get into discipline and psychology. And I've gotten testimonials where people are like, I came to learn the strategy, but what I didn't realize is Dodgy's profitable, not because of strategy, but because he does one trade a day. If it's green, he's done, So that's like a big thing that I really like to emphasize, like 1 or 2 green trades and just get off, So.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. It's so interesting to like, because when I met Antonio and I started like posting on TikTok, I've never heard of like fair value gaps.
Yeah.
So my dad taught me.
Okay.
Or like inverse fair value gaps, and like it's so interesting to hear about like different strategies, and it just goes to show that like ultimately there's so many different ways to trade,
Oh yeah.
and that like you said, a lot of it is a psychological and
Yeah.
emotional side of it,
Yeah.
where in theory you could really make anything work, but it just goes to show like there's so many different ways to trade and make money. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I always said this, that like a guy that's good at risk management and mindset, and maybe he's not the best at like technical analysis or like understanding like where the price is going to go at all times, versus a guy that's like really good at technical analysis, but like he's awful, like he's got like the gambler mindset, he wants to full port every trade, and like doesn't have good risk management. The first guy will always do better, even though like maybe like he cannot chart the same like at the highest of levels, but because he just has really good risk management. Like even people that like trade like retail patterns, quote unquote, like bull flag or bear flag, some of them will do well, or like EMAs, whatever. They'll do well just because their risk management is so good.
Yeah.
While like other people that like they can fucking learn the secret sauce or whatever, and they still won't do well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Patrick Weiland, he's a good example.
Oh yeah,
he just buys off the view.
Our goalkeeper, you mean? That's our goalkeeper, dude.
Yeah,
Our goalkeeper. We put him in goal, man.
Yeah, he's just got a $600,000 payout from Apex, and he just trades strong or flags, bear flags. Yeah.
We wop long, above we wop just longs, below we wop just shorts.
Dude, he goes pretty heavy out those.
He's got a cool he set up like a cool studio and all that.
Yeah, it's called BDH.
Yeah. So I had a couple friends of it, like they were like sending me like, oh shit, Patrick, and I'm like, yo, tell him he's a good goalkeeper, and then they're just like talking or whatever.
Dude, when you were playing soccer, he was like, one of the guys in their team got past the defender. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And the guy just laughed. He was just being rude to guys on our team.
The way he's on Twitter, that's how he was during the game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the way he's aggressive on Twitter,
And
which
then
we need.
Yeah,
We need.
and then someone on the other team shot and totally missed. And then Patrick's like, he's like, "You missed a goal, buddy." And then the guy just laughs. But yeah, he was talking shit out there.
I like it, dude. It gets competitive. That's like when
Yeah.
that's when it gets competitive sports. It's not good for trading, but like
I know,
making competitive.
dude,
It's like
I used to be competitive, and that did not translate to trading at all. That's why I was unprofitable first, because our team always used to win, and when I got into trading, I couldn't ever accept a loss because I was so used to winning in sports. And I'm like, oh, I'll just win every trade, but I can't do that.
so. What do you do? If, let's say your first trade is a loss. Like, what do you do? Do you keep trading, or like do you just give yourself 2 trades or 3 trades?
I'll do max 2 trades. If it's a loss, 75% of the time I'm done unless I see a really, 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 really good setup.
Interesting. So how do you scan for the setups? Like, do you, or like what time do you wake up and stuff? And like, what's your like morning routine and like how you kind of like find the trades you're going to take that day?
I wake up at 8:50, get on the chart at 9, and then I just wait for a light bulb moment. Basically, I just wait for something I've seen a million times play out. Same signature and price, liquidity sweep, fair value gap, boom. So that's really what I do. I just wait for I just let a setup come to me. I don't look for a setup, if that makes sense.
No, that's kind of what I do. Is like I was thinking it this morning. Like I was like, dude, this morning was like rough. So I drop off my son to school, whatever. I
Yeah.
come home and I'm like so tired. And 8:50 I take a nap. I set an alarm for 9:17. So from 8:50 to 9:17 I fall asleep like on my couch. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
My alarm goes off. I get up and I'm like sitting back in my chair, literally like just wait. Like I'm like I have the charts open. I'm like talking on my stream, but I wasn't like focused in.
Yeah.
But then I was like, damn, I just don't even feel like taking a trade. Like that's kind of the mindset I go in. But then I saw something on the chart. I was like, oh yeah, now I'm locked in. Like I'm interested. I took that trade. There was
Yeah.
some longs today after like that 9:30 like
Yep.
opening sell
I
off.
remember, yeah.
Took the longs to like some equal highs on ES, and then I even added it into NQ. So like I doubled up on my trade,
Yeah.
and they both hit. And then I was like, okay, I'm done for the day, guys. Like I always like kind of feel like almost like I'm not interested in the charts until I see something
And
that's like changes my mind.
Yeah, that jumps out at you. That's why I was telling people earlier. Like someone has asked me, "What's the bias?" I'm like, honestly, I don't know. This is where you just watch, and something will jump out at you, and you don't know when, and you're just sitting there. So that's basically what I tell people. The people I notice blowing up their accounts are like forcing things when you don't really know what's gonna happen. So I just wait for that moment where it's like, okay, it just jumps out at me. I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna try this trade. So
So you trading essentially the same tickers every single day?
yeah, I only trade NQ.
Oh, only NQ.
You don't like
Oh,
ES?
I see.
Like
Dude,
ES can give some sort of
no,
stuff.
ES
I
is
mostly
trash.
trade NQ, but like
The
today ES
reason
was
why
good.
ES is trash is because we form way too many equal highs and equal lows, and when we have equal highs and equal lows, I always tell people do not trade between them because the market will try to draw to both equal highs and equal lows, and it just gets choppy. In ES, there's times where I've seen like 5 equal highs and equal lows, and it's just because it's lower volume and it's just too many. So I just look at NQ. It moves the best in my opinion. When remember when the VIX used to be higher, ES actually used to be the one I used to trade. And
Was
like
it more volatile?
yeah, after like 2021, 2022, I ended up switching over. So I used to trade SPY, and then QQQ actually got better like a couple of years ago. So I just kind of switched over, and everyone else did too. Because I remember a lot more people used to trade ES.
And you're using a prop firm or using live? Or are you using both?
Both. Yeah, both. I think there's more tax benefits to prop firm for now because your tax is like an employer or whatever.
It's like a 1099 or whatever.
Yeah, it just depends really. So
Like if you see an A plus like your favorite setup, then you'll go live, or you kind of
yeah, it depends because I have Replicano. Do you know what Replicano is?
no.
It's just a copy trading program.
Yeah, okay. Copy.
So sometimes I'll copy trade to a live account and then I'll do prop firm as well. But if it's like a mid setup, I'll just keep it the prop firms only.
Do you ever find like some I've always been kind of scared of copy traders because I feel like some of them like fuck your shit up. Like I've heard a lot of stories like
You
like
have
you
to,
close on one, like and the other one left open, you blow up your account.
You have to really micromanage when you're in a trade. Just just stay locked in. Do not go away from your screen if you're in a copy trade. Trust me. Just make if you went to the trade. A lot of people who say, "Oh, I had this problem with this copy trader." They enter a trade in the copy trade, then they go to the bathroom, and then they say their shit's all fucked up. And I'm like, dude, don't go to the bathroom. Watch it, and if it gets messed up, close the position. So People say that, but I've never had an issue personally because I've watched it, and and nothing's happened. But if it did, I would just.
We get messed up. Like what happens?
Yeah, so copy trade is like, let's say you have you can buy like on prop firms, you can buy like 10 accounts or something,
Yeah,
5
yeah.
accounts, and like you get one, you take a trade, and all the other ones
Yeah,
will
right,
copy
right.
it. So I think
I see.
that's probably with like an Apex, the Top
Yeah.
Step, all those like
Yeah.
prop firms, and I guess you can do 2 live accounts too.
Is it with the same prop firm? All those accounts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
Apex,
I
you
would
can have
say most
20.
of them are.
So you're basically risking $200 per account, which is like, if you have 20, that could be 200 times. You're basically risking $4K per trade, but you're not like you lose $4K, but you lose $200 across each account.
So it's not that much. It
So
doesn't
like
affect the
it's more like a
drawdown.
Exactly.
percent-wise.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's say you have a 3% max
And
drawdown.
you pay for each account.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay for each. But Apex, like,
Yeah, Apex is pretty cheap.
yeah, it's relatively because most people go this route, so they keep it like, I think the
Yeah.
price is lower. I don't know. I personally have used only Top Step, FFN, and MFFU. I never actually used Apex
Yeah.
because I don't really like Ninja Trader that much.
Dude, so you know how I wanted to say something about Fartcoin?
Yeah,
Dude,
crypto's been like.
I saw a tweet the other day, and it's like, if you just bought Fartcoin a week ago, you've historically beat the stock market since 1990 or something. And I started dying.
It's crazy. Like the thing about crypto is like you can make money like no strategy, nothing. You just like get
Yeah.
lucky.
It's like the less logical you are.
Yeah, like
the
almost,
better you'll end up
almost
doing.
like.
Yeah.
But if you think about even like the early Bitcoin guys, imagine like it's like 2012 and dude is like, yeah, buy this digital coin. Like if you're like somebody that's kind of like logical, you're like, this is literally retarded.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna buy
yeah.
this. But all the guys were like, yeah, fuck the government, it's about Bitcoin, which kind of like you look at him like, yeah, this guy's not very smart. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Those guys got rich, so it's kind of like the crypto world.
Have you seen like the bell curve where like on the left side?
Oh, yeah, the memes. The memes.
Yeah, it's like on the left side, it's like the hyper intelligent people that can predict that people are going to be kind of retarded, and then there's the center people of like normal logical people,
Common sense.
and then the right side is like people that are like actually just like dumb, and then the people on the left and right do really good, but then the people in the center, which is like everyone,
Yeah, I've seen.
they
I
end up
always
not
see all
making
the
money
memes.
because,
Always
like,
see,
they're too
always see all the
logical about it.
memes of that.
yeah.
Do you trade crypto at all?
No,
Ryan?
no.
You didn't
Dude.
get into like don't even like chill guy when everybody
dude.
everybody was doing it. All the futures dudes were like
More
Twitter.
taxes, more complications.
more
I
rugs.
don't. Yeah, I don't need to touch. Dude, I don't even understand crypto. Like I do, but I don't. I just don't want to.
But you don't feel like it charges a charge, so like regardless.
I don't feel like learning about a whole nother asset. Like I know crypto is whatever, but I don't want to deposit money into like a fifth account and to buy some crypto. Not even paying attention to it. I'm focused on NQ. That's all I care about. So it's just too much for me if I ever do that. I'm trying to keep trading simple. So.
But when you trade in Q, you still have yes on the. You still watch yes.
Yeah, I'll still watch
SMTs.
ES for SMTs.
You ever looked at YM for like those type of?
I'll look at YM on days where you have like giant data, so like CPI, NFP. Typically, on other days, it's typically not great. The only other times it's typically good is if we have a big overnight move in NQ and ES, like it moves 200 plus points. NQ and ES will chop it open, and usually YM will go one way, like pretty heavily. But I don't touch it. It's most of the time it's trash. So.
Even the way YM works, like do you know the way YM gets its price is actually but just like the actual dollar amount of the stocks in it.
Yeah,
so you know
that's
like
why
it's not even a
so
market
bad.
cap. It's
That's
like
so
it's literally the most
yeah,
stupid shit ever.
I know. That's why I don't touch it. It's like, yeah, and it's only 30 stocks. So it's like
the most like stupid like UNH
yeah,
and like
and
come on, bro.
my other analyst kind of said the same thing. He's like, yeah, I don't trade YM. It's only based off 30 stocks, and it adds up the price. And NQ and ES are like truly algorithmic. That's not how it works. So that's kind of why I don't.
It's kind of like I don't understand how people trade gold. Gold is like widely known as the most manipulated
Oh,
asset.
I agree. Yeah, I don't.
So like
yeah.
I don't understand why people are like, yeah, I want to trade gold. Like it doesn't even sound fun. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna
I
get into the
always get
stock
that
market.
question all my lives. Do you trade gold? I've never.
I don't know
never
why. It
traded gold.
seems like it's like a really big thing, like in like other like kind of like different countries. Like I have no fucking idea why. I don't know what it is about gold. It's like a super boring asset. It's like when I first got into like the stock market and trading, I'm like, damn, Tesla, like like this blue chips company, like
Yep, that's what I
Nasdaq, and like that seems like exciting, fun. Like Nvidia, like not fucking gold, like some boomers, like
Yeah, I never even knew like you could trade gold. I didn't know gold or oil existed when I was researching about the market. Dude, it's just crazy how many like people just don't trade because they're so unknowledgeable about like how it works. Because so many people think it's gambling. Like, and for example, like when I got into trading, I didn't know you could trade gold. I didn't know I didn't even know what oil was. Like if you told me that and I wasn't trading, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? But like. And it's just, it's not that you don't know about it. It's just a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
that's a DM that I got today. I want to read it actually. So there's a dude that DM me today, and I posted on my story. The guy replied to my story, said, "How do I learn like everything from scratch, A to Z?
Yeah.
Feels pointless to even begin." So I replied to him. I said, "Yeah, man, just quit. Everyone else was already born with all the knowledge already." It's like, and then I said, people just want excuses and feel bad for themselves, but everybody starts with no knowledge. Like if you
Exactly.
feel like quitting because you like just have no knowledge, like that's every single person that's ever
Yeah.
done anything started knowing zero. Like it's like
Yeah, because it seems so intimidating. Like you look at like oh, I have to watch all these videos, and you think you're never gonna be able to do it, but it's just because you have the lack of knowledge. You know, smart people understand that you need knowledge to know what you're doing. Now, maybe if you had the knowledge and then you didn't like it, well, that's a different story.
yeah, it's
But
all
you
for
can't not like trading just because you don't know how it works. You know.
I think it's also like when you go on YouTube and search up trading, there's like so much information that is so different. You don't know who to trust. So like I feel like sometimes over information is a bad thing. And
Oh, I
like,
agree. Yeah.
you know, that's why I feel like a person, they should just pick one singular mentor and like learn from them and make sure obviously that mentor is profitable and like, and then you just follow. And if you trust that person, you just have to go all in and like not like kind of, you know, cloud out everything else, you know?
There was one thing you said that I disagree with. You said make sure the mentor is profitable. Here's my take on that. You know, people's ICT, you know, people say he's unprofitable because he didn't do the Robbins Cup. So like, I don't know for a fact that ICT is profitable, but what I will say is make sure the mentor's concepts are profitable as you're backtesting or as you're learning. Because if your mentor is profitable, he could be profitable due to a different psychology, different whatever, and you could be in your own world and you could be profitable because of whatever. You know, what if your mentor is unprofitable because they suck in emotions, but their strategy is actually really good, and let's say you're really good at emotions? Well, then why would you still not use that strategy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I feel like for a beginner though, it would be very hard to like know that like this guy like oh he doesn't make money but like his concepts do
Yeah,
work, you know.
And you
But-
don't know that unless you get experience and
that's
try
true, that's true.
yourself. You
But
know?
what about when
Yeah,
ICT
for
posts
sure.
those videos like on Twitter that's like he made like he was like, "Oh, you guys are up 10%, whatever, some shit." And he's like, "I'm up like 2 houses." Like, and he'll post like a P&L like 200%. Like, are those like paper trades or like
Some
nobody
of the-
knows? Like,
so he taught us in the scope of paper trading, but he will trade a live account occasionally. Like one summer, and this was before ICT was really popular. I saw him post. He documented him taking 25K to 75K in I think like 2 weeks, and he posted his P&Ls and AMP account every single day. He posted on Twitter, and then he went back to paper trading after that. So I don't really know.
Wait, so but like I don't even to be honest, I've never learned from ICT.
Yeah.
Like I only discovered him like within the last year essentially.
Yeah.
I think most people have.
But, like,
I say
yeah.
like people like
I never heard of him.
Ryan, people like TGR, people like Justin, where like those guys, I feel like ICT is only as big as because like you guys kind of all blew up and like ICT concepts and like
yeah.
I feel like a lot of his success has been kind of like you guys like
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
no.
big
in
part
a
of
way.
it.
That's why that was my take. I think TGR was kind of like the first.
Dude, if you watch TJR's boot camp, like he doesn't even mention ICT half the time. Like, it's kind of weird, but you know he doesn't credit him as much. I credit him all the time. But.
So like if it's ICT's concepts, right? So like TGR for example, this boot camp, he's teaching from what I understand.
He's
ICT.
teaching from what he learned from ICT. Yeah,
So is it like literally the same or like
basically just dumbed down.
Yeah, I
Like,
think a
dumb
lot
down,
of it is like ICT has like
Yeah.
X amount of concepts. Now you take some, you use some. Like some people like this stuff. Some people like you know like I know some people use order block breaker blocks. I don't really even know how to spot them. Like
Yeah.
you know.
See, I don't understand. Like, if he's paper, like, I don't understand. Like, if he's confident that he can make money with his concepts, which, like, I'm assuming he has that intention when he's teaching, right? Like, my concepts work. That's why I'm teaching them because I make money. Why would he be paper trading? That's you know?
That's the thing. He'll paper trade sometimes, but then he'll use a live account the other times. And it might be legal reasons. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'd be interested to like see.
Dude, the reason why I teach, have you ever watched a TGR video?
Yeah.
Dude, one of my friends pulled up this video the other day. First thing is like, I'm gonna teach you how to shove the market maker's butthole, whatever. He's like, like, dude, that's why he gets so many. Like, he's such a relatable person.
It's like brain
Yeah,
rot, but like
it's like brain rot.
I
but
think
like
it
trading.
kind of almost like bridges like ICT is really boring.
Yeah,
Like
I
it almost
agree.
bridges that gap. It's like people that are like I'm scared and I don't know anything, but I'm like I like
Yeah.
brain
Dude,
rot.
he's a genius when it comes to just like his personality is just so
Dude, yeah.
like
Someone I heard he went to a conference and one of my friends was there. I don't know if it was Casper. Someone else went to a conference with him, and one of the older guys asked TJR, and this is all I heard. I don't know if this is true, but they asked TJR, "What's your content strategy?" And TJR just responded, "You wouldn't get it." There's just this older dude who asked him. I don't know if it's true. I think it is, but my friend said he was at a conference with him, and that's what he said. So that's kind of funny.
No, I believe I met Tijani. Like the person you see online, it's a little like he's a big personality, a lot of
Yeah.
fun, like very
Definitely
like, he's just got kind of
inspiring.
like that personality, like a big personality.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely inspiring person, you know. And not through trading, but just making content, you know, like who he is as a person, you know. Definitely inspiring for someone me who doing social media to see that, you know. So
like yeah, like he's definitely one of the bigger ones, especially last
Yeah.
few years, especially when I kind of got into trading, it was like 2014, 2015, way before like years were like, I don't know, you were probably like in middle school or some shit. I don't
Yeah,
know,
dude,
but I don't know where you guys
I
were
was I was
Uh,
probably
10 years
playing
ago.
football at recess. You
Yeah,
know,
right, like
having
you-
like 2 touchdowns.
Well,
50
I was still in high
interceptions.
school. Like people like say I'm really that. I'm only 27, and people are like, "Unc." I'm like, bro, like I'm not really not that old. But like, no, when I got into training, it was like you know how now there's like all this information. There was like barely any.
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
very little. Super like if you like now people feel like it's scammy. Like that was even worse because there was so little like out
Really?
there. Like the few people like Timothy Sykes was like the biggest dude.
Oh, Tim's
Like you know, Timothy's
Dude,
like,
his
he's had like
ads are
court cases. He's been
always-
kicked out. Like you know, like he's had some
Dude,
crazy fucking.
his ads are always on my YouTube.
Yeah, well, his
every
ads
time.
is
Still
like
runs them? I thought he
he
got
runs like
exposed
the
so many
crazy
times.
Yeah, he's at there's literally court cases that he couldn't afford his house in Miami and like got kicked
Yeah,
out. Like
yeah.
the rent. Like there's like a ton of
Really?
information on him. Now hate him. It's kind of like ICT. You hate him or you like him. Like I wouldn't be here today if I didn't watch those ads.
Yeah.
Steven Dux, which is like considered by many, if I include myself, I think probably the best day trader I've ever seen. Like he's at a $6 million P&L confirmed by like the actual brokerage firm that was like as legit as it gets. He sure I think it was like the Donald Trump stock, like one of the times he moved. Like, even-
DWAC, yeah.
Dodgy. You know Steven Dux? He's pretty big on Twitter.
No, I don't.
He's like an Asian nerd, like exactly who you think to make millions of dollars day trading. Like it's super nerdy, like Asian,
Yeah.
like. But he learned from Timothy Sykes. Like he's like, yeah, I watched Timothy Sykes. That's how I learned. So there's a lot of people that I know, kind of like ICT, whether you don't like ICT or whether you don't like Timothy Sykes. But a lot of people learned, took what they what
Yeah.
they learned from them and made it their own and
Yeah.
ended up being profitable.
And it's
So-
kind of what he said, you know, about, you know, make sure your mentor is profitable. What if Tim Sykes wasn't profitable, but now there's this Asian
that's
taking-
that's a good point.
That's a
idea.
good point.
You
No,
know?
that's definitely true.
I do think Timothy Sykes like I don't know. I do think he's made some money in the markets. Maybe he over exaggerates and makes like his story better than it is. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. He literally was like on a TV show in 2008 about like a reality TV show about the stock market.
Really?
So like you know, I'm sure he probably like did some like Hollywood drama to his story.
Yeah.
But like
Dude, at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care if you make money or not. Like, I'm not going on Twitter and be like, does this dude make money and trying to crack him down, dude. I'm just trying to make money myself. So
yeah, like that's another like the hating like I don't get very much hate like in
Yeah,
general, but whenever I
that's
see a
good.
hate comment, it's just like if I don't like somebody or I don't like something, I would just like not watch it anymore. I would not
Yeah.
take my time to leave a comment. I'm like I don't know how
Yeah.
people do that. There's a lot of people I don't like on the internet. Like I watch these guys, yeah, this guy like doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, but I'm not gonna sit there and comment it. I'm just gonna be like, whatever. I just don't want to
Exactly,
see you again.
yeah.
I'll put not interested like a max. I wouldn't even like dislike. I'm just like this. I don't give a fuck. You know how many like worse people there are. Like you know, it's be too many to even worry about. So like I don't even want to worry about that.
Yeah, no facts.
Yeah, I started muting people on Twitter. Like, or no, not
Dude,
people.
Twitter's bad.
No,
Twitter's
I'll
like the
mute
most toxic.
So if I ever post a controversial thing on Twitter, I'll mute the tweet so I don't get any notifications of any other posts.
Okay, but like, do you hide the comments or keep them?
No, I keep them, but I just mute them so I don't look at them.
Do you think Twitter or TikTok is more toxic? Twitter's like I feel like on Twitter
Twitter.
people only argue. Like there's nothing else. People are just arguing. Like he's just.
2 different realms. Probably Twitter, yeah.
I feel like TikTok is just like some lower IQ like just comments. Like I get
Yeah,
like
yeah.
today was a comment is like I just made a video about Bitcoin or whatever. Like yeah, you know I was like I told you it was gonna go down. The guy's like Bitcoin is not going under $92,000. I promise it. Literally 5 minutes later, I got a huge red candle on Bitcoin. It was like 89,000. What the fuck?
Dude, I think I see the fact you even look at comments is crazy. I think I look at comments.
Well, I don't have a
one
lot.
every
I don't.
5
I don't get a lot of
posts.
notifications as much as you. So like, if like few comments I get, like, oh, they just pop up.
Yeah, I don't look at notifications. I just muted all that, so I don't look at them. But once every 5 posts maybe.
I like to respond because like I like to. I honestly love TikTok. Like, I love posting.
Yeah.
Like, I like to respond to a lot of the comments because people.
Yeah.
I've noticed like terms of like views, engagement. Like I get a lot of engagement on the when I respond to like one. Even no, it's just the question. I'll like repeat it. And it's kind of fun. Like sometimes people will like comment some shit, and I'll like kind of like just make a video like roasting him. I don't know.
What I like to do now that I think it's really funny, like if you guys watch Ecom Side Hustle, like if it's a hate
Yeah.
comment, I'll just be like, oh, here's a tour of my Ferrari. I don't even reply to the comment. I'm just like, hey, thank you for being a fan. If you want a car tour, here it is, and I'll just do a Ferrari tour like just to fucking
Yeah, that's
troll them.
funny.
Like, and
What
I-
did he say? It was like rented or something, or
No, it literally was just like a random comment. It's like, oh, like you don't know anything about the markets, like whatever.
Oh.
He said something like you hit one trade and you make a video about it. It's like I
Yeah.
literally haven't had a red day in like a month. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
and I make videos like every day, like
Yeah.
like the trades that I took.
yeah.
So it was like it's so dumb that it's like I'm not even gonna waste my breath, but it's
Yeah.
funny for the content. I'm like, oh, thank you for being a fan. Here's the car tour.
Yeah.
So then, like,
Yeah,
just to make me even
Yeah.
more pissed.
No, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
I saw Ecom Side Hustle does that so nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take that shit.
That's awesome.
Dude, you know Ecom Side Hustle's like 25.
In
Dude, he looks
yeah.
like he's like 40, bro. I was not even. I think he's like young. I heard.
Yeah, he's like
a little young.
Like
Like
I'm
20
24, 25, yeah.
Are you talking about that guy with all the cars?
Yeah, he's like a beard.
Oh
kinda-
yeah,
Dude, he looks like he's like fucking 40.
yeah, he looks
bro.
like he's
Dude,
40.
he's like 26 or some shit.
and his business partner is like,
Kevin Pack, the Asian
yeah,
dude?
yeah, yeah.
Is it Kevin Pachter?
Kevin Pack, I think
I don't
it
know,
is.
dude. His 4GT is insane. I don't think he sold it, but
Yeah,
I
I think he
remember when
sold
he
it.
had it.
I think those cars are like so hard to hold because you don't want to drive them because you put miles on them, like, and it's like a $1.2 million car. Like, as
Yeah.
rich as you are, like, you don't want to lose $100,000 every like 500 miles. Like, it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I understand why he got rid of it. Like, just to fucking move on and actually get
Yeah.
a car that you can drive like almost every single day.
I saw one on the road like a month or two ago. I don't think I've ever. And would you consider it like a hypercar?
That's probably a hypercar.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
like the
so.
only hypercar I've ever seen. Even at a car show, I've never seen anything.
There's
Is it- the Bugatti's not a hypercar. Right?
Yeah, yeah. the
Oh, it
hypercar,
is?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that and then the 4
I've been in one hypercar, Lamborghini's Bugatti.
Bugatti,
not
yeah.
not the one he currently has, the one he had prior.
Nice.
That's the only one I've been in. But do you plan to get any cars? I know you have the Corvette, but I remember you we were talking about
planning
like
on getting maybe a Lambo after tax season. But I just bought a duplex, and I want to buy at least. I don't know. I think real estate's smarter.
oh definitely.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at some real estate deals, triplexes, duplexes, and like really pop into like Charleston, and I'm trying to maybe get one more, then get a Lamborghini, So yeah, we'll see.
You just do it for the experience, like
I was gonna get like a Lambo just for a year. I mean, I want to get a Porsche eventually, a Ferrari, like it's just to try things out. But
it's actually smart that you want to get real estate because all the dudes you see like the young the Miami kind
Yeah.
of dudes they moved to Miami.
yeah,
They're like renting a fucking apartment and then they fucking lease on like a terrible deal, like a fucking cheap like Eurocon or Euros.
yeah,
Like all the young dudes I like kind of speak to sometimes in DMs like, yeah man, I'm moving to Miami. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, you're cooked, bro.
yeah.
You're
I'm
fucking
focusing
cooked.
I'm focusing on having other states of income where I don't need to do anything. Where, let's say trading, the market just disappears. Every one of my incomes disappears, but I still have real estate. I'm still making enough from real estate to live. So I'm trying to get to that point right now, and I already have one duplex, but I want like 5 to 10 places in the next like couple of years. So
Are you looking where like Florida or like different states?
Florida, yeah, like Hilton Head, yeah, those 2 areas for now, I guess. So
You got some questions?
Yeah, we got a few questions for Ryan. Someone wants to know how do you build a narrative around a setup / knowing when a fair value gap will inverse?
I literally just mark the most obvious highs and lows, and so many people try to be like, "Oh, I'm building a narrative," when there's no narrative to build, if that makes sense. So I build a narrative and say sometimes there'll be no narrative, and I'll mark like a really obvious high from overnight or a really obvious low, and then if we hit that low, that's when I'll base my narrative off of. I'll be like, okay, we hit this low. Now what's the reaction? Did we get? Is it like did we just death cannon through the low, or did we kind of wick under and then go back up? If we wicked under and go back up, I'll look for long setups. If we death cannon below it, well then I'll go to the higher time frame because there's probably a lower liquidity pool than I'm not having in my chart. So yeah, and then the other thing, like if I wake up and I see really obvious equal highs in NQ or obvious equal lows in NQ, that's my narrative. I'll just target those. The only time I don't is if like we have equal highs and we have bearish price action. I'll be like, okay, guys, I know we have equal highs, but we need like a inverse to the upside. We need like a market structure shift to the upside. And if we don't get it, then I can't be like, oh yeah, these equal highs are gonna hit. And I always tell people, if I ever said these equal highs are gonna hit, even though we're getting bearish price action, unfollow me or whatever, because You know, you might have equal highs, but we need to see like a reversal or something to tell me that, okay, now the equal highs should go and hit, you know, but.
So like I think the mistake a lot of people make is like they just see any IVFG. Oh, because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you mark it for value
There's
gap.
a lot, yeah.
It gets inverted. You're just like, oh, I'll just take any. But like
Yeah.
you actually need to have an idea behind it. It can't just be like a blind.
Yeah,
IVFG.
I'm always looking for like a liquidity sweep and then an IFG and then like a trend line liquidity or equal highs or equal lows the other way. If that doesn't happen, well, then I don't trade. And that's where people blow their account because they try to force things when none of that's there.
I think they're trying to trade like mechanically, like they only
Yeah,
black and
no, you
white versus
can't.
like
You have to wait for good
understanding
liquidity
what the market
target.
is doing.
Yeah, you have to wait for good liquidity target or else you don't trade or you maybe paper trade, but
Another question. Someone wants to know, which I've seen actually on your Twitter, which why do you hide the P&L when you posted that tweet? I don't know if you were just trolling. You know, there was like a tweet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you were just trolling. But somebody asked, like, oh, why did you hide it? But you showed the green days. Is it like you just trolling people or like, you know, like the haters?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the second post, but the second post, I actually
like $1 was like,
I did inspect element and I did like 69 cents one day and I did like a $4.20 one day. You know T Trades?
I've heard of him.
So he's like over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. He doesn't show his face. He just does educational videos. He doesn't post P&L, and he's
almost like ICT, but like ICT will show something.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, you know, there's a guy named Kane, and he just got a $1.7 million payout, and he shows how much he makes every trade. But what happens is he's attracting signal bots to his Discord, and when he's not there, they get all mad. I'm trying to attract people that don't care about P&L. They're just trying to learn how the market works, and when I do that, I'm attracting a certain type of audience because I will ban people if they see like, oh, if I post a P&L of I'm up 1,000 a day, which I've been up 1,000 a day plenty of times. I don't want them to be like, oh, he's up 1,000. I'm going to join, try to copy him. You know, that attracts the wrong audience. So I like blocking out P&L because truly I think P&L doesn't matter. I think everyone's at their own size. And I think it just attracts the audience that I want to teach, you know, attracts that audience where I want to show them a setup. They can take it on their own. You know, and they make however much they make depending on how they size. So that's kind of why I do it.
Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, people like the numbers, but like ultimately, you know, the job is to teach people.
Yeah, I've found, and I used to show P&L like a lot more, and I found more success in doing the educational. I have like 1,000 people in my Discord, or whatever, that, you know, sometimes watching live stream. I guarantee you, if I did a poll and said, do you want me to alert 100% win rate signals for the next month straight, or do you want no signals and all education? I guarantee you 80, 90% would be all education. They don't care. Like the audience I attract is really, really wanting to trade themselves and trying to become self-sufficient, because that's what I did. You know, I tried copying people. It didn't work. Never. I tried taking people's signals. It never worked. You know, I would have a few green trades, but long term, it's not sustainable, you know?
No, I agree. I used to do, like, when I first started, I used to show my P&L like pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Now I will show my P&L here and there. Like, I'll do it, like, mostly what I do is I do like a YouTube recap of like whatever, like a trade, and I'll like refresh and kind of just like show the week or whatever.
Yeah.
But like just like for the YouTube, I feel like if somebody's watching like my YouTube video for like because obviously it's education, not like a signal or anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I can share it because like you're watching and you're probably just trying to learn anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you. And then like especially like when I started in 2020, 2021, it was like, if you guys think it was rough now, like it was bad then. It was like everybody that like knew nothing about trading wanted to go into trading, and they just wanted to be like, how can I get rich quick? Like, like they'll just follow a signal with like options, like 0 to 8, like full pour, like it was rough. And then, you know, some stocks were just mooning on up, so people were actually finding success doing that. And those people that just got lucky because like, you know, everything was going up, they ended up losing in 2022 when the bear market or the market started going down. They end up losing everything. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it all comes down to like I'm trying to have a certain type of audience, and showing my P&L is not going to attract the audience that I personally want. You know, at the end of the day, trading is a business, but so is building my social media, and I want to build my social media and have smart followers, not, you know, idiots who are thinking they're going to copy me and make money. So that's kind of what I prefer.
Yeah. Definitely makes sense.
Do you have a goal for like your social media? Like, do you have something like a goal that like you, or are you just gonna keep doing it?
I don't have a goal for social media. I have a goal for trading. I want to make $1 million trading. I mean,
and then you're gonna quit, or you just like?
No, I'll keep going. I think
it.
it'd be cool to make $1 million trading. I haven't gotten there yet. So
You think trading's something you'd want to do for like the rest of your life?
Maybe next 10 years, and then just, like I said, have enough income from real estate and all these other things where I don't need to trade anymore. But maybe one day I'm bored and I'm on a random Tuesday in Bali, I maybe want to try to take a couple trades. So
That's the cool thing about trading. Like nobody takes it. Like TikTok's getting banned. And I tell people people are like TikTok shop is the best, TikTok affiliate is the best. I'm like, no, like if you actually learn how to day trade properly, like no one can take that away from you. They can't ban an app. Like, dude, if the stock
can't
market,
ban the stock market.
bro, if the stock market is gone, like we probably are fucked.
cooked. Yeah, we're
you're already
cooked,
cooked for some other reasons. That's the
Yeah.
last of your worry to learn about money.
America's cooked at that point.
Yeah, so to me, it's like I feel like day trading is generally the one skill you keep forever. Like I met so many dudes like, I made a nice little like 100K drop shipping some cheap product.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
that's not sustainable.
Yeah, and then once the hype is dead, they're done.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people, like, especially a lot of people who hit me up, they're always asking first, like, oh, what if the market crashes? Like, what if it goes away?
It's good.
And
Short,
it's like,
short.
I
Way
literally
down
tell them,
and
like,
buy.
especially for like my style trading, like, dude,
Like,
if the
even better.
dude, if the market was to crash, it would be like fucking godsend.
Christmas.
Like,
I
yeah, it
know.
would have been so good.
Because
So,
elevators down, stairs up. So like I love shorting because I feel like sometimes it's like you make more money faster
my
because
God.
people
Yeah,
panic and
for
fucking
sure,
just
for
sell.
sure.
Yeah. Dude, I wish I'd never had the capital, but when we had that COVID dump, man, I wish I bought. I just didn't have the capital back then. I was in high school, dude.
That was
Bro,
when
I was
that
like
was my
just starting to.
Really?
My dad was like printing, and then
Yeah.
COVID hit. I came home and he was like, "Yo, like maybe you'll like it." Like I was never even interested, and then
Yeah.
I saw him doing it. I was like, and I, for like months I was sitting next in paper trading, and then
Yeah.
eventually he funded my account, and then like and just having like the mentor like next to me like with my dad, it's
Yeah.
so
That's awesome.
I wish. I had like I mean he had the skill set during COVID, but
yeah.
for
I
us,
tell people it's
wish-
like the Super Bowl. Like that
Yeah,
was like when like
literally.
if you had any decent experience, like we were printing money like on everything, like Nvidia, like I was like pennies. I was trading everything, options, penny stocks. Everything was like a huge opportunity.
Dude, I remember it because like
Penny stocks were used to be popping back
Oh,
then,
do you
too.
get like
Yeah.
3 that are up 1,000% a day? You
Yeah.
just fucking full poured everything, and like it was bad. But like me, at least I had 4 years experience at the time, so like it was also pretty good. But
There's a penny stock FAM, PHAM. I remember
remember that one.
1,000% one day, and I got in for like 400%, and I was mad because it kept going up. I'm like,
like it was bad because you're mad because like you don't have that risk management experience
Exactly,
yet. But like you were still getting rewarded, which was bad, and everybody lost that. But we're gonna wrap it up. It's been about an hour. Emmanuel, thank you for being here. Ryan, thank you for being here. Last thing, Ryan. Tomorrow, soccer match. How many goals are you scoring?
Yeah.
Last week you gave me 2. I'm gonna need 3.
Dude, I was trying to join the league and then apparently I got the food right before and I also like didn't sign up.
Excuses,
in time.
man.
I
Excuses.
didn't
Yeah,
sign- I
I
didn't sign
reminded
up.
your ass
He
like
did.
10
I didn't
times.
sign up in time and then
So we're gonna
I,
get a hat trick. You should have had a hat trick last
Did
game.
you
I
used to play soccer?
yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
played college.
Oh, wow,
I played
nice.
D3, but I was.
Man, that's still really good.
Better
I
than
play this dude
99%.
every Thursday night. I play with this group, and there's an old Inter Miami player who he's pretty young, but he used to play in the team before Messi. So I mean, all of them are really good. So it makes me better, obviously. But I say 4 goals. If the team was the same skill as last
You know
week,
what? We
4
should.
goals.
I want to stream one day. Like we stream the fucking game. I want
We
to set up my
should.
phone and like have it or record some parts of it. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, we
We'll
should.
bring the
alright,
podcast to the game.
Can we
Yeah,
just
dude.
carry the like? I would like to have a GoPro like right here and just fucking people.
Dude,
You'll be
Mr.
like terrible one.
Mr. Producer, are you gonna like
terrible
transport
fucking
the pod?
touches. All right, fucking next video then. Fucking soccer.
Patrick
match.
would love that.
Patrick in goal, just like fucking, just ball goes
You
2
love
inches to
that.
his right. I can't get it. Fucking goes through.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But we gotta do some turns and goals. That's where we're missing a goalie. So Emmanuel, if you wanna join, we need a goalie. That's the only way you fucking join
I'd be
now.
down.
Anyway, you
I'd
join, we need a fucking goalie.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you guys. Make sure to subscribe if you wanna follow Ryan. What's your socials?
Dodgy's. If you just type in Dodgy's DD, not Doggy. A lot of people
I
type
never
that in.
thought about that. I just realized that.
DODGYSDD. You'll see me on every platform.
Or just look up IVFG.
Or just if you type
This
in
is dictionary.
how to trade
Yeah.
IFGs, Dodgy, you'll see all my videos.
On the dictionary, you'll see IVFG and then
Yeah,
yeah,
Ryan's
yeah,
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a wrap.